Hello everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Ron Kellawal, and if you haven't already done so, don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, share, hit that like button. Today I want to answer a question that quite a few of my clients, my PR clients ask in terms of how much influencers charge. And yes, influencers do charge. So influencers are individuals who have a set audience. They speak about their areas of interest, the areas of expertise, or things that they just love with such a passion that it attracts people into their virtual and digital tribe, their communities. And it's got to a stage that there's lots of individuals online, be that YouTube, Twitter, even Facebook, who now have their own collective audiences, and if they share something on those platforms, they share something on YouTube or Twitter, they get a lot of engagement, they get a lot of conversation, they get a lot of even conversion into sales, depending on what they're trying to discuss or what they're talking about. And because of that, some influencers, if not quite a few actually, have started charging brands when they do mention or showcase a product or feature a service on their platform. So if we're using YouTube as an example, if a makeup artist is using a product, she might have already charged that brand to feature the product on her YouTube channel, she or he, whoever's using the makeup brand. Now, there's other ways you can think of it. Some influencers want to have complete control. If they want to have an honest and open review, they'll pay for the items themselves and they'll do the review for themselves. Okay, that's their choice. They can't be forced into reviewing a product or an item. But some influencers are very much about working with brands and businesses, and they charge based on the amount of work, okay, it's going to take to undertake a review or to feature a product. They charge based on the overall and average engagement. So when I say engagement, I'm talking about the number of comments and interaction, the number of likes, the number of retweets, the number of perhaps of even shares. So they look at, on average, how many comments do they get when they post something on Instagram. If they're an Instagram influencer, how many comments do they get if they're posting a video on YouTube? Those comments often reflect the kind of appetite or reaction from their audience. So if they're showcasing a product and their audience is asking questions or wants to know, for example, where can I buy this, or how does it feel, things that you would expect from actually being in a physical shop. Okay, so a consumer going into a shop will probably ask the very same questions. So the influencers actually brought it into whatever platform they're using, and they're bringing it in their digital community, their digital tribe, their digital audience, and they're showcasing a product or a service. So it could even be, there's a list, it's so long, so I'm really giving you so many examples in a short space of time, but a service can be a hotel, a travel service, okay, a spa. It can be literally anything. It can be anything. But whatever it's doing is bringing an audience, their audience that they have built up, to you as a brand or as a business owner. So you now have to decide how much budget you have as well before you approach an influencer, and figure out how you can negotiate with influencers. Some influencers are very set and very strict in terms of what they charge, yes, but I would do the research. And also, more often than not now, influencers are approaching brands, and I would really, really recommend that you are open to conversations and building those relationships, okay? Even if an influencer is approaching you, they're approaching you because they're willing to create content that you don't necessarily have the time to do, you might not even have the resources to do, but if they're willing to create social media ready savvy content that speaks to their audience, and they present something that looks feasible and is affordable within your financial constraints, definitely take the time to consider it, because they're speaking to certain facets of the community, the consumer community, the people who are buying your product or are interested in buying from you or your service. They're speaking to that audience, and hopefully, in all things marketing and in all things PR, we can work, and advertising and business, we work strategically, and at the end of the day, it's people's choice. The conversion We have to do the best we can to get that sale, but conversion comes down to choice. Do they like the look of this review, this influencer, this brand? So that even when you have done the best you can do with your brand, and when the influencer has done the best that they can do with showcasing it, the consumer at the end of the day has that final yes or no choice, okay? But that doesn't mean that it's wasted, even if all of their audience doesn't buy from you, because it's exposure, it's brand building, it's publicity. And that's great because it's long term. But just because somebody tweets something or Instagram something one day doesn't mean all of their audience, their followers are going to buy from you on that very same day. It could take a few weeks, even months. And it's all part of your long term ongoing business strategy and marketing strategy, okay? And in terms of the charging and how much to pay, research based on your own budget, based on what they have actually said to you as an influencer. Lots of online resources in terms of measurement as well, and really comes down to negotiation. Really think about what you're willing to pay, what's affordable, and be clear. Be clear on your terms and conditions. From both parties have to be clear on their terms and conditions. Make sure that everything is transparent. The expectations are clear from the get-go, and there you've got it. There you have it. You could literally have a really good positive experience by paying influencers to showcase and develop content that fits your brand, fits their audience, and is authentic. You know, it's not always about the things that come out from your business. You know, you can create all the content in the world. It's really good to have other individual parties who are creating content that reflects different audiences and open up new doorways to opportunity. So be open and willing to pay, and be open and willing to discuss and build those relationships. If you've got any more questions, leave a comment below and hopefully I can answer your question. And take care, guys. Bye-bye.